Human Resource Management, Module 2. Human Resource Planning. Learning Objectives. At the end of this lesson you will be able to discuss the importance of human resource planning, understand reasons in conducting human resource planning, and explain the human resource planning process. The demand for human resource may vary from week to week, month to month, and year to year. Filling the demand as it comes is not an easy task. This is so because one has to contend with the quantity and quality of the available supply. When specialists are needed on a specified period, for instance, management may not be able to provide them without effective planning and execution of plans. Human resource planning, an activity which undertaken to make sure that the right quantity and quality of manpower are available at the exact time and place that they are needed. It also refers to the performance of tasks that will enable the organization to function effectively and efficiently by providing its various departments with qualified personnel. Why conduct human resource planning? It must be conducted for more effective and efficient use of HR. It also helps in scheduling recruitment and selecting effectively by providing information that determine how many people are needed and the kinds of people needed for job openings. Through HR planning process, the organization can identify the mix of skills it will need in the future. The output of HR planning is required before head of HR can plan for its recruitment, selection, and training of employees. When undertaken effectively, HRP produces end results that are vital to the success of the organization. These effects are as follows. There is more efficient and equitable use of human resources. If HRP is made to really provide accurate information about how many people and what kind of people are needed, there is a slim chance that those recruited and selected will not be able to do their jobs. There is more effective employee development and feeling of greater sense of fairness. In organizations with effective HRPs, employees are aware that the HRD's function is to implement human resource policies including the determination of various human resource requirements. Layoffs, new hiring, or even the need for additional training may be anticipated. In any case, the employees will feel that any HR activity is a result of what is actually needed and not the effect of the whims and caprices of management. Human resource planning process. Determining the objectives of human resource planning, the foremost step in every process is the determination of the objectives for which the process is to be carried on. The objective for which the manpower planning is to be done should be defined precisely, so as to ensure that a right number of people for the right kind of job are selected. The objectives can vary across the several departments in the organization, such as the personnel demand may differ in marketing, finance, production, HR department, based on their roles or functions. Analyzing current manpower inventory. The next step is to analyze the current manpower supply in the organization through the stored information about the employees in terms of their experience, proficiency, skills, etc. required to perform a particular job. Also, the future vacancies can be estimated, so as to plan for the manpower from both the internal, within the current employees, and the external, hiring candidates from outside sources. Thus, it is to be ensured that reservoir of talent is maintained to meet any vacancy arising in the near future. Forecasting demand and supply of human resources. Once the inventory of talented manpower is maintained, the next step is to match the demand for the manpower arising in the future with the supply or available resources with the organization. Here, the required skills of personnel for a particular job are matched with the job description and specification. Analyzing the manpower gaps. After forecasting the demand and supply, the manpower gaps can be easily evaluated. In case the demand is more than the supply of human resources, which means there is a deficit, and thus, new candidates are to be hired. Whereas, if the demand is less than supply, there arises a surplus in the human resources, and hence, the employees have to be removed either in the form of termination, retirement, layoff, transfer, etc. Employment plan or action plan. Once the manpower gaps are evaluated, the action plan is to be formulated accordingly. In a case of a deficit, the firm may go either for recruitment, training, interdepartmental transfer plans, whereas in the case of a surplus, the voluntary retirement schemes, redeployment, transfer, layoff, could be followed. Training and development. The training is not only for the new joinees but also for the existing employees who are required to update their skills from time to time. After the employment plan, the training programs are conducted to equip the new employees as well as the old ones with the requisite skills to be performed on a particular job. Appraisal of manpower planning. Finally, the effectiveness of the manpower planning process is to be evaluated. Here the human resource plan is compared with its actual implementation to ensure the availability of a number of employees for several jobs. At this stage, the firm has to decide the success of the plan and control the deficiencies, if any. Thus, human resource planning is a continuous process that begins with the objectives of human resource planning and ends with the appraisal or feedback and control of the planning process. End of Module 2. Thank you.